Let's all go live in a Christmas movie where the bakery's saved and the snow falls smoothly.
All right, welcome back to another episode of 12 Days of Ugly Sweaters and Christmas Movie Tropes, where we have zero production budget and we are sponsored by nothing more than the margin of our free time, which we don't actually have. So we're bringing to you another review. This time we are going to be talking about Tidings of the Season
Yeah.
from the Hallmark 2025 Christmas movie season.
Yes, yes.
Darius, take us right in.
All right. So, tidings of the season, just a brief recap. We are looking at really only three main characters. There is a gentleman, his character's name is Adam, and he is a news anchor man with, his sights on bigger things. And there is Lucy, who is a single mother, divorced single mother of little Robbie. And little Robbie has dreams of becoming a news anchor man. And so Adam is pretty much the guy that he looks up to when watching TV. So that's the premise of the story. And yeah, um, I didn't love it. Let me
Oh, you
go ahead,
didn't.
let me go ahead
Oh,
and start off by saying I did not love it.
okay.
You're surprised. Tell me why you're surprised.
I'm surprised because I felt like like the last four episodes, all but one, I feel like I've been the one who's been really hard on the
Uh-huh.
movie. So to
Uh-huh.
hear that you like didn't love this one,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm shocked. Tell us all the reasons why.
And let me tell you, to make matters worse, I watched it twice. Yes, I watched it twice. So I had seen it on the original air date, and I also have the Hallmark app. So I was watching at work today. And I was just like, let me just watch this and make sure, I got everything because I knew that I didn't love it, but I wanted to give myself a chance to say I missed something, and that's why I didn't love it. I still didn't. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And just to tell you why, to me, um, it just wasn't believable to me. The characters, Tamara Maori, Mori, however they pronounce that last name, I've heard it both ways. She's always great. So I do believe she did a great job. The gentleman who played Adam, I've seen in other productions, and he's always done a great job. But in this particular one, I just felt like he stayed in Anchorman mode. Like he never just was Adam, the man. Um,
Hmm.
and so I just kind of lost it there because I didn't feel like it was a regular person. I felt like I was just watching an actor play an actor or a character play a character the whole time.
Too little character development.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Which I mean, the bar can sometimes be low in a Hallmark movie anyway.
It can, and I'm all for it. There are
Yeah, yeah.
times when I'm like, it's not believable, but I'm good. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I loved Robbie Sullivan though.
yeah,
Like cutest flippin' 8-year old in the world. I don't
yeah,
know if he's 8, but he looked 8, right?
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, wearing his little suits to school and suggesting the field trip to the teacher,
Oh
and
yeah, oh
always
yeah.
walking around like in Anchorman mode. It was just adorable.
True,
Adorable.
true.
Um, I do agree with you on the complete and utter lack of depth on Adam's character. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I almost said something kind of mean. I'm not going to do that though. So,
You're being nice today.
well,
What?
I'm restraining myself because it just
Okay.
would have been, yeah, it would have been ugly. But anyway, he did strike me a little bit like he looks a little bit like a young Eddie Murphy in a way.
Okay.
And so well, I mean, okay, I almost called him Timu Eddie Murray, okay?
Oh, yeah, that's not good.
But I actually didn't mean it in a bad way, right?
Right,
Like,
right, right. I get it. I get
he
it.
did remind me, not in degree of talent necessarily, right? Or comic talent, because
Yeah.
yeah. But like, he just reminded me of a young Eddie Murphy. And so and can we just give some extra points for whoever did wardrobe? Because Tamara, like her wardrobe in the beginning, like that jacket and that whole outfit that she walked into the salon with, like day
Uh-huh.
one. Uh,
Uh-huh.
yeah. And
Hey,
Robbie
she's a
too.
stylist in the movie. She's a stylist, and she's got to come with that whole package, look. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
So like bonus points for that. And we'll remember that when it comes time for the raining. Bonus points for that. But I did think it was really cute with like all the scenes with Robbie and the just the one particular feature, feel good feature that they did with the guy who decorated the 12 trees,
yeah,
like in honor
yeah.
of the one that got away. Now, do I think it's particularly realistic that they both still loved each other after 40 years completely apart? I do not.
Right, right. And only spending that one day together in that park. From what I recall, I think it
I
was,
think they had several days, and then I
okay.
think like her trip got cut short because somebody back home got
I
ill.
remember that part. Yeah.
But even then,
Know each other well. It's
yeah,
they
yeah, not
grew up as childhood
right.
crushes. Yeah.
Right. Not there was not it was not long enough for me to love you my whole life and never see you again.
Right, exactly.
Just it wasn't. And this you'll notice in a future episode this is a recurring theme for Hallmark this year. But
It is. It is indeed. It is indeed.
um
And some like a previous one that we reviewed, I actually really liked that element of this multi-generational, bringing people back together. But
yeah, but they weren't trying to say that they had been apart for 50 years and still loved each other, you
yeah,
know?
and that goes back to what I was saying in the beginning of this one. It's just the whole believability factor. I tried to suspend the belief a little. It
Yeah.
just didn't work for me on this one and in
Yeah.
several places. Yeah.
And like there's this one moment in the movie where Adam's having this like I guess we could call this character development, right? Because he wants to tell Robbie himself that he's going to interview for the job in Chicago, right? He feels like he owes it to him with the time that he's invested with him to be the one to tell him,
Yeah.
and then Lucy won't let him do that. And I thought, which, she goes through this whole no, I think it'll be better for him if he just doesn't see you anymore. And I'm thinking, okay, like you act like they're trying to paint her as emotionally mature through the movie and him as not, right,
Yeah.
originally.
Yeah.
But then like her thing is like, oh no, let me not give my kid closure in a supervised way, which would probably be best for him. No, it's
Yeah.
better if you just never see him again.
Yeah, yeah. And I think they showed a few little elements of her character like that, like when the other stylist said, ask for help. Why don't
Mm-hmm.
you call him, and ask him. Now it is kind of far-fetched that this single mother has had this child all this time and never had anybody she could call to pick him up from school.
Well, and can we talk about how there's no way he could have been on the safe pickup list
Right.
and you have to fill out paperwork for
Right.
that?
Yeah, I'm like, okay, so you've known this guy for what, a week, maybe two, by that point? Like, wow, okay, well, call him to pick up your son from school. Whew. But it does also show that not for that reasons that we say, common sense
Right.
reasons, but to say that her character just had trust issues and all of this, because she did have a divorce in her past and whatever that entails. So to then carry that over and say, well, yeah, just exit his life quietly type thing. Children get heartbroken too.
Yeah.
Children do get attached to adults, and this was Robbie's idol, so to speak,
Yeah.
watching him on TV. So to just tell him to just leave and let it drop like that, yeah, that wasn't good.
Well, and especially because, they had that whole part planned for his big Christmas show at school. And then, I mean, of course, we'll let the viewers go find out how all that worked out in the end. But, yeah, just definitely not. But, you know, in spite of its lack of believability and in spite of the some of the plot holes and some of the inconsistencies or whatever, Robbie was just so stinking cute in all his little scenes and
He
all the ways
was.
that he impacted. So for Robbie Sullivan alone, I'm gonna
Uh-huh.
have to give it 3 peppermint swirl pops
Okay.
just
Okay.
for Robbie. How
All
many nutcrackers are you gonna let loose, Darius?
right. Robbie couldn't save this one for me. Cuteness and all, could not save this one for me. It's getting a two. Even Tamara. I'm a longtime fan. As I said, the other actor, I'm sorry, I can't remember his name. I know he's a great actor from other things. There was just too much that didn't capture me as being believable. I never got into it and believed these people or these storylines.
All right. All right, Hallmark, let's ratchet up that believability next season, right? All right, so go check it out for yourselves. Tidings of the season. Let us know in the comments what you thought, and
Yeah.
we'll see you next time.
See ya.
Let's all go live in a Christmas movie where the bakery saved down the snow falls smoothly. Trade the big city rush for a hometown glow. Under mistletoe magic, love will grow.